What's up, everybody? Welcome back to TTG Radio. My name is Danye, and I'm your solo host for today. Today's topic is going to be the mindset and the approach of a nutrition coach who works in the health and fitness area, sports physique, sports science area, how we want to adapt recipes for our own liking to help support our lifestyle and what we do. Most of the nutrition clients that we work with are not necessarily athletes, but they are looking to transform their body composition. So a lot of the same principles apply. Today, I have a recipe book with me that I have been going through with one of my nutrition clients called the Everything Macro Diet Meal Prep Cookbook by Lindsay Boyers. And this has been awesome. Just a little pro tip here. If you're focused on your health and your nutrition and you're diving deeper than just looking at calories only, a recipe book like this that has the macronutrients or your fats, your carbs, your protein, and some other nutrients for each portion and serving size versus just the calories is going to be way more helpful when it comes to your weight loss, your fat loss journey, your journey to tone a little better, to build more lean muscle mass, all those things. If that's your focus, you've got to be diving deeper than the calories. So I've chosen 3 recipes out of the 200 that are in this book. And I'm just going to go through them briefly and talk you through my thought process on what I might adjust when it comes to the macro goals and the types of foods that are in them so that they can best support your journey to becoming a more fit human being. Okay, here we go. The first one, the breakfast option that I chose, is a hash and egg bake. If you have this book, it is chapter 2, page 41. The ingredients consist of potatoes, sea salt, whole eggs, grated Parmesan cheese, unsweetened almond milk, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, broccoli, and cheddar cheese. So, per serving, and this whole recipe gives you 6 servings, 177 calories, 10 grams of fat, 923 milligrams of sodium, 11 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 11 grams of protein. My initial thoughts here are that it's overall low in calories, so I'm probably going to have more than 1 serving. I mean, 177 calories is just not going to hold many of us over for more than maybe an hour, maybe 2. Now, of course, if you're having coffee with it, then it could probably tide you over a little bit longer, but we're probably going to eat more than 1 serving size here. That being said, if you look at your fats, your carbs, and your proteins, 10 and 11 grams with each of those. So initially you might think, oh, that's pretty darn similar, but 1 gram of fat is worth 9 calories. 1 gram of carbs, 1 gram of protein are each worth 4 calories. So you've got more than twice as many calories coming from fats. So 10 grams of fat is actually way more calories. It's 90 calories compared to 11 grams of protein, which is 11 times 4, 44 calories. So you can see right there, if you are looking for a higher protein, moderate carb, lower fat approach, I'm not saying go low fat, I'm not saying go no carb, it's very context dependent. But for me personally, for most of my clients in general, we're probably going to look to modify this recipe to give you a little bit less fat, a little bit more protein. So here's a few things that you could do to switch up this recipe. All right. Well, and actually the sodium is a little bit higher than I would like for a single serving of this recipe. So I would probably take that 1 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt and really cut it in half. The whole eggs, I would probably do a combination of some whole eggs and some egg whites. Most of the fat from your egg is coming from that egg yolk. So if you make a change to that, you will lower your fat. Of course, I forget to turn my phone on silent for recording purposes. And if y'all hear lots of things going on in the background, we have pickleball going on in the court. We have people weightlifting upstairs. So bear with me. Come back to me. This is good stuff. All right. So 6 large eggs, I might do 3 whole eggs and like 4 or 5 egg whites instead of 6 whole eggs. The Parmesan cheese, I might not change the Parmesan cheese but I might try to find a low fat or a fat-free cheddar cheese. Yes, I would prefer a block of cheese that you shred or grate on your own compared to a more processed one that is found in a bag that's pre-shredded, because then it's going to have some extra preservatives on it. It's going to be almost coated in like a flour substance to keep it from sticking. But if, again, we're trying to figure out how we can modify different ways that we can do a lower fat approach and a higher protein approach. So maybe do a fourth cup of shredded cheddar cheese and a fourth cup of a low fat cheddar cheese. There's different ways that you could modify those portion sizes there. And then for increased protein, I mean, the egg is really your primary protein source here. So I think it'd be very simple to add in some turkey, some ham, some turkey sausage, some turkey bacon. I think there's a lot of different lean protein sources that you could add in here to increase that protein per serving size. I don't know if this is something that I would add collagen peptides to. You probably could, but I just don't know. If you did, I would recommend using a milk frother to blend it into that egg mixture before you bake it. But haven't tried that, so if you do try it and you like it, let me know. But I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if I would like it. Also, something easy to do would be just add a different protein source on the side. A lot of times the first thing I have every morning is a protein shake. I wake up, kind of start getting ready for my day. I have about 8 ounces of water, and then I have a protein shake that I mix with a shot of cold brew coffee concentrate. So you could just have an additional protein source on the side next to this hash and egg bake. Okay, moving on. I don't want to spend too much time on each one of these. The lunch option here is the Mason jar Cobb salad. Chapter 3, Salads and Bowls, page 61. The ingredients listed here: creamy ranch dressing, shredded boneless, skinless chicken breast, hard-boiled eggs, no sugar added bacon, avocado, blue cheese, grape tomatoes, minced red onion, and iceberg lettuce. The picture is very colorful. It has lots of whole food options, and the macros, well, this whole recipe serves 6. The calories are 597 per serving. Fat is 43 grams per serving. That's a lot of fat per serving. However, that's pretty darn normal when it comes to ordering a salad that has a high fat dressing. So keep that in mind. Sodium, way too high for my liking, 1,123 milligrams per serving. Carbs, 6. Fiber, 2. Sugar, 2. And protein, 46. So I love where the protein is, but this, while keeping me full while eating it, because it has a lot of high volume, nutrient dense foods in there, is not going to keep me full for a very long. Well, the chicken will keep me full, but in terms of carbs, like that, this is not a good pre-workout. If you were looking at a lunch as a pre-workout meal, you've got to have some more carbohydrates in there that are going to give you energy, and a salad is just not really going to give you any energy, especially if it's going to weigh you down with 43 grams of fat. I'm not saying you need to have a low fat salad all the time, and a lot of this fat is the fat's going to come from a few different sources here: your ranch dressing, your bacon, your avocado, your hard-boiled eggs, and your blue cheese. So a few things you could do here. One would be to swap the ranch dressing out for a low-fat ranch dressing. The brand Bolthouse Farms is awesome. They use a Greek yogurt as the base for their creamy dressing, so definitely one to try. Maybe do a couple of chopped hard-boiled eggs without the yolk. So get your hard-boiled eggs and scoop the yolk out before you chop them up. That will take away some fat. Maybe you want to do turkey bacon instead of regular bacon. Avocado, there's no way to get around. If you either have it or you don't, but that fat's coming with the avocado. Blue cheese. Again, limit the amount of blue cheese. So maybe instead of 3/4 of a cup of crumbled blue cheese, you do a half a cup. Like, minimize your portion size there. So I would probably find a few ways to lower those fat options. I'm not saying don't have them, but maybe have a smaller portion of all of them, or maybe choose one that you want to eliminate completely. You don't need all the fat sources all the time. I think it's a lot of grilled chicken for a salad, and you can obviously swap out which protein source you want to put in there. And then she actually gives some great recommendations of throwing in some roasted sweet potato or chickpeas for some different carb options. So I like the little tips that she puts in there. So it's always about figuring out what you need for your goals. If you want the high fat, high protein to keep you full for a few hours, great. If you want to use that as a pre-workout meal, it's not your best option. You've got to have, maybe you want to throw a little less fat and some more like berries, whether it's cranberries or raspberries or pomegranate seeds or strawberries on top of that salad to give you some more texture, some fruit, some more fiber, things like that. So I know a lot of people think that when they're getting in a salad, it's going to be super high fiber, but you can see from this one, it's only 6 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate. So if you have a very low carb meal, you're not necessarily getting in a lot of fiber. So just keep that in mind. Moving on, last but not least for today, the dinner, which honestly could be used as lunch too. Instant pot beef gyros. This recipe serves 6, and per serving, 262 calories, 12 grams of fat, 638 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 3 grams of sugar, and 35 grams of protein. So right off the bat, I like where the protein is. Personally, I'm looking for 25 to 35 grams of protein per serving, and I do that about usually 4 times a day. Maybe I do my protein shake and then I try to get in 3 meals that have about 30 grams of protein in them. So I like where that's at. The ingredients, this is definitely going to take some time. It is an instant pot meal, but it's not instant. It's going to, take a few hours in that instant pot, I think. So yeah, for me, if I'm looking to do this really quickly, I'm probably not going to use the Instant Pot, even though that might be considered fast for some of you who really enjoy cooking. I'm probably going to buy from Whole Foods or somewhere that has like a pre-shredded beef that is already pre-cooked and like ready to go. It just needs to be reheated, maybe thrown in a saucepan, something like that. So I'm always looking for what is quick and easy, and I don't typically dedicate the time or the bandwidth to an evening meal. Thank you, Drew, my husband, for making my dinner meals. If not, it would definitely be coming from a meal prep company. Okay, so for this one, I like the macros with the exception of the fact that it's so low carb, I would go a little crazy. I do like to have a consistent stream of carbohydrates throughout my day, even at night. That being said, I'm not trying to overdo it and go crazy, but I would like to have maybe 30 grams of carbs at dinner, maybe 40. So for me, I'm probably going to add in a pita bread with this. And she does recommend that here as well. A warm pita or a lavash wrap, something that works with your macro goals that will give you that starchy carbohydrate that you might want to add into this meal. So there's lots of ways that you can modify that. If you don't want the gyro meat or ground, you could do ground beef, you could do turkey, you could do chicken, you could even, well, I'm not going to get into seafood because I don't eat seafood, so I'm not going to be able to give you a great recommendation there. But I do like all of the whole food options here. The ingredients for the beef is beef broth. You might want to look at doing a low sodium or reduced sodium or a sodium-free option here to keep your sodium levels down. 2 pounds of beef chuck roast, 1 large white onion, lemon juice, avocado oil, garlic powder, dried oregano, sea salt, and ground black pepper. And then for the tzatziki sauce, 2% plain Greek yogurt. You could always use a fat-free Greek yogurt, shredded cucumber, dried dill, more sea salt, garlic, and lemon juice. So love the ingredients here. She keeps it pretty darn simple, which I do enjoy. And she's got pictures of most of the meals that she recommends. I would say at least a third of them she has pictures for, which is always really nice. So I want y'all to think about how you can look at a recipe and figure out what the right macro goals for you are. I know this was a very brief overview, but if you have recipes that you want to know more details about and how we look at that recipe as nutrition coaches in terms of helping you figure out, is this a recipe that is not just healthy, but will help you meet your fitness goals, then send us a direct message on Instagram or send us an email, info@ttgnwla.com, and let us know. You can also join our email list. We've just started this. Actually, the first one will go out the week that you hear this. So if you go to our website, ttgnwla.com, you can sign up there. We want to give you guys a little background behind the scenes, what's going on at the gym each week, what's our latest podcast episode. You got to excuse me here with this Invisalign. Still feel like I'm getting used to talking with it on. And just like where we're going with the gym, what's exciting, what's new. Physical therapy is pretty darn new to us. The nutrition coaching has been here for a while, but something that I mentioned last week briefly is that I am working on putting together a digital nutrition course, which has been really fun and really challenging in a way, in ways that I hadn't expected. I've done in-person nutrition coaching or virtual nutrition coaching with one-on-one clients, sometimes one-on-two, for 6, 7, 8 years now. And being able to take what we do in person and translate it into videos and PDF worksheets and different documents and resource guides that will support somebody on their journey at their own time and pace has been a fun challenge. I think I look at the worksheets and go, oh, well, I know they're going to ask me these questions and I'm going to answer them in person. It's no big deal. And so really translating and trying to think ahead of everybody's detailed questions so that it's still very personalized has been a fun challenge. So if you want to make sure that you stay up to date on that, please join the email list. That's where we'll be putting out more details for sure, especially when it comes to our beta testing launch, which we're aiming for end of September, early October. So if you want to stay on top of things, that's where you should go. Sign up for our email list. Of course, if you want to make sure that you get a text message notification when we do new podcast episodes, I want you to text the word podcast, not a sentence, not anything except the word podcast, to 833-432-2161. And we'll send you a quick text letting you know when every new episode is published, usually Tuesdays, 6 a.m. So stay tuned there. But that's it. That's all for now. If y'all have, again, nutrition questions or things that you're curious about with the digital course, recipes that you have questions about, send us an email with those details and we will get back to you, or maybe we'll do a podcast episode on your question or your topic. Thanks so much for listening. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now.